What if one man's mind held the power to end a war and change the world forever? A weapon so powerful it could destroy entire cities, and a legacy that would haunt humanity for generations. This is the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the genius who unlocked the atom and the burden he could never escape. The man who changed the world forever. What if one person's mind could unlock the secrets of the universe and change the course of history? What if a single thinker could influence science, global events, and the way humanity understands knowledge and responsibility? This is not a story from a movie. This is the real-life journey of J. Robert Oppenheimer, a physicist whose brilliance and vision shaped the modern world. Born in 1904 in New York City, Oppenheimer grew up in a family that valued education, creativity, and curiosity. From an early age, he displayed extraordinary intelligence, exploring not only mathematics and science, but also literature, philosophy, and art. He had an insatiable thirst for learning, often spending hours reading books far beyond his age, pondering deep questions about the universe, and discussing ideas with his family and teachers. This unique blend of intellect and imagination set the stage for a life that would impact the world profoundly. In 1922, Oppenheimer entered Harvard University, quickly standing out as one of the brightest minds of his generation. He excelled in physics, chemistry, and mathematics, but he also maintained a strong interest in philosophy and literature, believing that a complete understanding of the universe required both scientific precision and thoughtful reflection. After graduating from Harvard, he traveled to Europe to study at prestigious institutions in Germany and England, learning from some of the greatest physicists of the time. There, he immersed himself in the revolutionary ideas of quantum mechanics, relativity, and nuclear theory, while also engaging in philosophical discussions about the implications of these discoveries for humanity. By the 1930s, Oppenheimer returned to the United States, becoming a highly respected professor at the University of California, Berkeley. He was admired not only for his genius, but also for his ability to inspire students, communicate complex ideas clearly, and encourage critical thinking. His lectures were not just about formulas and experiments. They were journeys into the mysteries of the universe, inviting students to explore the balance between curiosity, knowledge, and responsibility. During this period, the world was in turmoil. Nations were racing to develop new technologies, global conflicts were on the horizon, and scientific discovery held both promise and danger. It was in this context that Oppenheimer's skills, vision, and moral awareness led to his selection as the leader of the Manhattan Project, a top-secret initiative exploring the potential of atomic energy. The project demanded leadership, collaboration, and deep ethical reflection. Oppenheimer organized and guided hundreds of brilliant scientists, engineers, and researchers, ensuring that their work was precise, innovative, and conducted with the highest level of responsibility. Unlike a soldier leading armies or a politician making decisions for power, Oppenheimer stood at the center of history as a thinker, a guide, and a visionary whose decisions would have lasting consequences for science and humanity. His calm intellect, combined with his reflective nature, allowed him to navigate the pressures of the project, balancing ambition with caution, discovery with conscience, and innovation with ethical responsibility. Beyond his academic brilliance, Oppenheimer was known for his deep curiosity, love for learning, and appreciation for art and philosophy. He often pondered the moral dimensions of science, questioning how knowledge should be used and what responsibilities scientists carry when their discoveries have the power to alter human history. Standing at the crossroads of discovery and responsibility, he exemplified the idea that knowledge is not neutral. It carries consequences, and the minds that wield it must do so with wisdom and integrity. Oppenheimer's early life, education, and experiences had prepared him for a role unlike any other. From the streets of New York to the lecture halls of Harvard, from the laboratories of Europe to the deserts of New Mexico, his journey reflected the power of intellect, curiosity, and moral awareness. The world would never be the same, and neither would the way humanity viewed science, responsibility, and the possibilities of the human mind. Through brilliance, vision, and reflection, J. Robert Oppenheimer became a man who changed the world forever, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire thinkers, scientists, and dreamers to this day. Long before the world knew his name, J. Robert Oppenheimer was already a prodigy. From a very young age, he displayed intelligence that seemed almost otherworldly. While other children were learning to play and socialize, Oppenheimer was diving deep into books on science, mathematics, philosophy, and languages. He was curious about everything: the stars in the sky, the atoms in the air, the invisible forces that held the universe together. He questioned what others accepted as fact and sought answers that went beyond the surface. Born into a wealthy and cultured family in New York City in 1904, he had access to books, tutors, and mentors who nurtured his unique talents. But it was not just privilege that made him extraordinary. It was his insatiable hunger for knowledge and understanding. Oppenheimer's mind was restless. He wanted to know how things worked and why things existed. He combined the rigor of science with the imagination of art, reading poetry alongside physics, philosophy alongside chemistry. This rare blend of intellect and creativity gave him a perspective unlike any other. At Harvard University, he proved his brilliance by completing his studies faster than most students, mastering complex subjects with remarkable ease. His teachers recognized his ability not only to solve problems, but also to see connections where others could not. After Harvard, he traveled to Europe to study under some of the greatest physicists of the era. In Germany and England, he worked with experts who were shaping the foundations of modern physics. He absorbed new ideas, questioned established theories, and began to carve out his own path in the world of science. During this time, he became fluent in multiple languages, studied literature, and developed a lifelong love for philosophical thought. These experiences shaped the thinker he was becoming, a man who understood that knowledge carried both power and responsibility. Despite his brilliance, Oppenheimer was not free from inner struggles. He was sensitive, often anxious, and painfully aware of the expectations placed upon him. He wrestled with self-doubt and the weight of responsibility that comes with extraordinary ability. But instead of weakening him, these challenges made him more thoughtful and reflective. They taught him to approach science not just as a series of equations and experiments, but as a force with moral consequences. By the early 1930s, he had established himself as a respected professor in the United States, inspiring students with his insight and teaching them to think critically and deeply. He became known not only for his knowledge, but for his ability to make others see the beauty and potential of science. Little did the world know that this quiet, brilliant professor, who spent his days teaching and pondering the universe, would soon be called upon to lead a mission unlike any other in human history. The skills, intellect, and reflective nature he had cultivated from childhood to adulthood would become crucial in a project that could change the world forever. Oppenheimer's early life was not just a story of talent. It was the story of preparation, of a mind growing, stretching, and shaping itself for a destiny that would put him at the center of history. Every question he asked, every book he read, every experiment he conducted, quietly built the foundation for the role he would play when the world needed a mind capable of seeing the unimaginable and making it a reality. The Manhattan Project and the burden of knowledge. By the early 1940s, the world was on the brink of immense change. Scientific discoveries were moving faster than ever before, and nations were exploring technologies that could redefine the future. At this critical moment, J. Robert Oppenheimer was entrusted with leading the Manhattan Project, a top-secret research initiative dedicated to understanding the potential of atomic energy and its applications. The project brought together hundreds of brilliant minds, physicists, chemists, engineers, and mathematicians from around the world, all working together under intense pressure and secrecy. Oppenheimer's role was not only to guide the scientific work, but also to coordinate collaboration, ensure precise experimentation, and foster innovation under extraordinary circumstances. The challenges were immense. Every experiment, calculation, and decision could carry consequences far beyond the laboratory, affecting global events and human lives in ways that could not yet be fully understood. Oppenheimer approached these responsibilities with calm focus, blending intellectual brilliance with ethical reflection. He constantly considered the broader implications of the work, understanding that science was not neutral and that knowledge carried both power and responsibility. The team worked tirelessly, often in isolation, balancing groundbreaking discoveries with meticulous testing and safety considerations. The atmosphere combined both urgency and excitement, as each step brought them closer to understanding atomic energy in unprecedented ways. While the work had the potential to influence military and political outcomes, Oppenheimer emphasized careful thought, collaboration, and ethical awareness, reminding his team that their discoveries must be treated with respect and responsibility. The culmination of this effort came in 1945, when the project demonstrated the vast potential of atomic energy. Though the technical achievement was remarkable, Oppenheimer's leadership and philosophical approach ensured that the project was guided by reflection and foresight. He understood that science was more than equations and experiments. It was a tool with profound consequences, requiring careful consideration of moral, social, and global impact. Beyond the technical challenges, the Manhattan Project tested Oppenheimer's own resilience and judgment. He navigated political pressures, ethical debates, and the personal weight of leading a project that could change the course of human history. Through it all, he remained a calm and reflective leader, inspiring trust and dedication among his colleagues while demonstrating the importance of foresight, responsibility, and collaboration. The Manhattan Project became a testament not only to human ingenuity, but also to the need for thoughtful leadership in the face of groundbreaking discoveries. It highlighted the power of intellect, the importance of ethics in science, and the ability of one visionary mind to guide a team of extraordinary people toward achievements that would forever shape human understanding and the world itself. Aftermath and the responsibility of knowledge. After the completion of the Manhattan Project, J. Robert Oppenheimer faced a world that was confronting the profound implications of atomic energy. The project had not only achieved one of the most remarkable scientific breakthroughs in history, but had also brought to the forefront questions about morality, responsibility, and the consequences of human innovation. Oppenheimer emerged as a public figure, known not only for his intellect but for his thoughtful reflections on the ethical dimensions of science. He understood that the knowledge he helped unlock carried immense power, and that its effects would ripple across generations. In the years following the project, Oppenheimer dedicated himself to education, mentoring, and public engagement. He believed that scientists could not act in isolation. Their discoveries impacted societies, governments, and global stability. He urged the scientific community to consider the long-term consequences of their work, emphasizing that knowledge should be guided by conscience, foresight, and ethical reflection. He spoke about the need for international cooperation, caution in applying powerful technologies, and the moral responsibility that comes with scientific innovation. While some critics questioned his political associations and motives, Oppenheimer remained steadfast in promoting ethical scientific leadership. He worked tirelessly to mentor young scientists, encouraging them not only to pursue innovation, but also to reflect on the potential impact of their work. He emphasized that understanding the universe was not sufficient. How that understanding was applied defined the true legacy of a scientist. Beyond academia, Oppenheimer engaged in public discourse, urging leaders, policymakers, and the global community to weigh decisions carefully when handling technologies that could shape the future of humanity. He reminded the world that intelligence alone was not enough. Wisdom and moral courage were essential in guiding progress. Oppenheimer also reflected deeply on his own role in history. He grappled with the moral complexities of leading the Manhattan Project, aware of the potential consequences of the discoveries he had helped facilitate. This introspection made him a more thoughtful leader, philosopher, and educator, one who consistently highlighted the importance of balancing curiosity with responsibility, ambition with conscience, and innovation with ethical awareness. Over time, his influence extended far beyond the scientific community. His ideas helped shape policy discussions, educational approaches, and the ethical frameworks for scientific research, leaving a legacy that intertwined scientific brilliance with moral guidance. Decades later, Oppenheimer's reflections on knowledge, leadership, and morality continue to inspire students, researchers, and global thinkers. He showed that the power of discovery carries weighty obligations, and that true greatness lies in the wisdom and ethical insight with which one applies knowledge. His life after the Manhattan Project exemplifies the profound responsibility of intellect, the importance of thoughtful leadership, and the enduring challenge of ensuring that human innovation serves the betterment of society. J. Robert Oppenheimer's story teaches that achievement is not measured solely by breakthroughs and discoveries, but by the conscience, foresight, and humanity with which those achievements are guided, leaving a lasting impact on generations to come. Through teaching, public engagement, and reflection, he became a beacon for responsible scientific progress, demonstrating that knowledge, when paired with wisdom and ethical consideration, has the power to shape the world for the better. J. Robert Oppenheimer's life did not end with the Manhattan Project. In many ways, it only began. He became a symbol of human brilliance, a man who had stood at the crossroads of science, morality, and history. The bomb had ended World War II, but it also introduced a new era of global tension, fear, and ethical dilemmas that would define generations. Oppenheimer's legacy is not only about the power he helped unleash, but about the questions he raised. How should humanity wield knowledge? Can intellect exist without conscience? What is the responsibility of a scientist when their discoveries hold the potential to alter life itself? After the war, he continued to work as a teacher, advisor, and public intellectual, constantly reflecting on the moral weight of the weapon he had helped create. He spoke openly about the dangers of nuclear proliferation, the threats of global arms races, and the need for international cooperation. He warned that the power of the atom was both a miracle and a curse, a reminder that human ingenuity carries responsibility that is heavier than most can bear. Yet his life was not free from controversy. During the McCarthy era, his past associations and his opposition to certain nuclear policies brought him under intense scrutiny. He faced public questioning, political attacks, and accusations that could have destroyed his career and reputation. But Oppenheimer endured, believing that truth, ethical reasoning, and the pursuit of knowledge with conscience mattered more than power, fear, or political gain. Beyond the controversies, he inspired generations of scientists, thinkers, and policymakers, not only through his discoveries, but through the way he bore the consequences of his work with honesty and reflection. He reminded the world that intelligence without responsibility is dangerous, that knowledge carries moral weight, and that human progress must be guided by conscience as much as by curiosity. His writings, speeches, and reflections continue to resonate across decades, reminding humanity that every invention, every discovery, and every action has consequences that extend far beyond the moment. In the end, Oppenheimer's life was a testament to the dual nature of genius. He was both a creator of extraordinary scientific breakthroughs and a witness to the destruction those breakthroughs could unleash. He embodied the paradox of human progress, the ability to unlock the secrets of the universe, yet the constant need to temper that power with wisdom, humility, and moral courage. Today, his legacy lives on in the questions he raised, the minds he inspired, and the ethical debates that continue to shape science, technology, and society. He challenged humanity to reflect on its own power, its capacity for destruction, and its responsibility to the future. J. Robert Oppenheimer did not just build a bomb, he shaped the moral and intellectual framework of the modern world. He demonstrated that history is not only made by wars and empires, but also by ideas, choices, and the courage to face the consequences of knowledge. The world remembers him not simply as the father of the atomic bomb, but as a man who bore the weight of creation, who confronted humanity's power and fragility, and whose life continues to challenge every generation to ask itself, how will we use the knowledge we possess? What kind of world will we choose to build? And are we ready to live with the consequences of our own brilliance? If this story of J. Robert Oppenheimer shocked, inspired, or made you think, then imagine what other incredible stories we have waiting for you. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us on this journey through history, mystery, and moments that change the world forever. Don't just watch, be part of the story, because the next mind-blowing tale is just a click away.